goaltending matchup this evening is a dandy. Antti Niemi, the 30-year-old Vezina Trophy finalist last year, had 24 victories to top the NHL, tied with that man. Also in the final three in Vezina voting as the best goaltender, Henrik Lundqvist. The first of two meetings this season. They'll play again in March in Manhattan, but the Rangers in town for the first time in a few years, and we are underway as the San Jose Sharks endeavor to close out this season-opening three-game homestand with a third straight victory. But it'll be tough going against a Ranger team who we talked about in our open. Drew looked very good last night at Staples Center in Los Angeles against the Kings.
They did look good. They took away the middle of the ice. They got on the LA Kings right off the bat. That's why Todd McLellan wants his team to establish their game early.
Different D pairs as Brad Stuart is back in the lineup, and he's out there to start the game, playing alongside Jason Demers. We'll get to the lineups for both clubs momentarily as the puck is played behind the Ranger net. And Lundqvist leaves it there for defenseman Mark Stahl. As we said, the Rangers opening the season with a 9-game road trip because of renovations to Madison Square Garden that have been ongoing over the last 3 years in the off seasons. A trip there that Dan Boyle gets away with in the San Jose zone. Have to warn you, there's two Boyles on the ice tonight, and they both wear number 22. It's just not fair for an announcer. Brian Boyle for the LA Kings, their outstanding centerman, and of course the Sharks number 22 defenseman Dan Boyle. And here he is across the Ranger line. On the left wing side, the shot over top the net by Andrew Desjardins. It comes back into the neutral zone, and the Rangers clear it far side Derek Stepan, and it deflects out of play. Here are your Sharks lines, and everything up front looks pretty much the same as the Saturday night win here over the Phoenix Coyotes. No changes in the four forward lines. The alterations come on defense with Brad Stuart in and Scott Hannon getting the night off.
Yeah, very important, as Todd McLellan mentioned this morning, to get Brad Stuart in the lineup, but he does like his team's overall play. He says they've been quite accountable, and when they haven't, the coaching staff has been able to step in and make them accountable right away. Right now, this is a team that's playing very well. It's an early sample, as Todd McLellan talked about, but still a team that's firing the way they should be.
Sharks are 2-0, identical 4-1 wins over Vancouver and Phoenix, so 8 goals and only 2 allowed so far. The Rangers win last night in LA by a 3-1 final was their first victory. They opened the season last Thursday in the desert against the Desert Dogs and lost to them 4-1. Justin Braun now pursued by Taylor Pyatt, plays it off the far side boards. Joe Thornton with a rather risky play back to Vlasic, but the Sharks are able to get out of the jam in their own end. Now Thornton to Tomas Hertl. Hertl's wrist shot, and Lundqvist with the save. Here's your New York Rangers for 2013-2014 tonight, at least the top line there with Richard, Stepan, and Nash.
And then after that, they really grabbed three excellent players from the Columbus Blue Jackets last year in the trade. Dorsett, Dominic Moore back, former San Jose Shark. He's back in the lineup, back in the National Hockey League. Good to see. But this is a lineup that is a tough team to play against, a lineup that blocks a lot of shots and is very physical. And it's going to be a heavy game for the Sharks tonight against the Rangers.
Of course, in the shortened 48-game season last year, East did not meet West until the finals, so the Sharks and Rangers haven't played for a couple of seasons. Last time was Halloween night at Madison Square Garden 2 years ago as the play goes offside at the San Jose blue line. Time for our Lexus keys to the game, my friend.
Well, as I mentioned, Todd McLellan wants his team to establish their game early because the Rangers played last night. Let's go to Brett Hedican inside the glass. Brett, what do you see?
Hey, guys, yeah, right there, Brad Stuart coming up, meeting him, Rick Nash along the boards there. Got his elbow up a little bit high. Nash feeling the effects of that elbow there, guys.
So a penalty to the Sharks here in the early going. Brad Stuart took a whole 2.5 minutes into his season to visit the sin bin, and he'll sit for the elbow here at the 2:32 mark of the opening period. Rangers power play really struggled in the preseason. They're 1 for 7 right now. Here's Pavelski short-handed, and a backhand that went wide. Delzano got a piece of it on the back check. What's Joe Pavelski had now? Maybe 4 or 5 excellent shorthanded chances in the first 3 games. It just hasn't been lucky at the net.
The aggression that the Sharks play with, though, especially at the forward position, going up against the... Oh, look out there. Bad change. There's too many men on the ice for the Sharks there. We're going to get called, Brett. Looks like we're going to get another call.
Yeah, he's got the call.
Yeah.
Got the arm up.
Going to be a 5-on-3, and McLellan not happy with the bench.
San Jose bench minor, 2 men on the ice.
Here we go. Just keep going forward. Moves it forward, gang, right here. Freeze it. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're allowed to do that, but not if you have a guy in the penalty box. Now it's a 5-on-3. Critical moment early in the game as Pat Irwin jumped off. Todd McLellan not happy.
Still has to send someone over to the penalty box to join Brad Stewart. And he's trying to sort out who it's going to be. Matt Nieto gets the tap on the shoulder. So he'll serve the second minor penalty, and the Sharks with some adversity here early in the game. 5-on-3 for New York. Richards on the wing gets it back from Nash. Now to Stepan. Derek Brassard, and they really liked his game since he came over from Columbus last year. Richards, 2 goals last night, and he just missed wide there. Back to Brassard. Back over to Richards. Fires and scores. Terrific. And the Rangers get the first goal on the 5-on-3. A great screen in front by Ryan Callahan. It's 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Callahan. And Ryan Callahan back in the lineup after a shoulder injury, was repaired. He comes back in lineup. He changes this Ranger lineup. You see Antti Niemi leaning for the shot, looking to the right. He is screened big time. Perfect by Ryan Callahan. Beats Antti Niemi, has no idea where the puck is, and the Rangers get up 1-0, and the Sharks still have 1:37 to kill.
Boy, if you're the coaching staff of the Rangers, you like the fact that Richards pulled the trigger once, gets it back there for the second time, lets that shot go again for the tip and rebound goal. Excuse me, but what a play by Richards.
So Brad Richards, whose stock fell so much in New York last year that he was scratched, a healthy scratch in their last 2 playoff games against Boston, a series in which they were eliminated in 5 games. That Brad Richards now has 3 goals in the last 2 games. And back in comes Rick Nash with the 5-on-4 underway for New York for another minute 15.
Well, to be honest though, John Tortorella wasn't wrong about Brad Richards and the way he was playing last year. He should have been scratched. He wasn't playing very well.
Now Callahan dumps it back to the point. Mark Stahl can't handle it there. It comes back out over the line. And Jason Demers tried to get it deep, couldn't, but it bounces free to Pavelski with Marleau. And Joe Pavelski will push it deep into the corner where Stahl will get it back for the Rangers.
Going back to Brad Richards, he pretty much admitted to the fact.
Here's a steal. Pavelski to Vlasic. He shot. He scores! The Sharks get it back. A short-handed goal. It's 1-1.
Brad, I'm going to let you take this because it's a defenseman with a wrist shot. I know you love that.
I love that. I love Joe Pavelski. This whole shift was creating things, getting up. Look at, he's got his head up. There goes Vlasic off the bench, comes in, finds himself in a perfect situation. Look at Pavelski, great play right here. Follows that puck off that got deflected, finds him out in the high slot. Nice hard wrist shot. Deflected, nice goal.
Look how Joe Pavelski goes to the net. That's a big goal for the Sharks. 40 seconds left on the too many men penalty. That's a big one to even things up.
That is their first shorthanded goal, but as we noted, the way they've killed penalties early in the season and been so aggressive, they could easily have 2 or 3 by now, but it ties it up. Rangers still on the power play. Dan Girardi's shot goes out of play.
Let's go back to the shorthanded goal by the Sharks. Just happened. The key on this, Brett, a little bit of movement. How do you get that going as a defenseman?
Well, you see how he grabs that puck and his momentum pulls the puck over, changes the angle, and therefore the forecheckers on Vlasic can't get in front of that puck. He gets it through all the way.
And when you're pulling that puck, you get a little bit more juice on it, don't you?
You do. You can lean into that there, Drew. Absolutely right.
So Vlasic's first of the year to go along with his 3 assists. As the Sharks in a 1-1 tie, they're a dozen seconds away from getting back to full and even strength. Matt Zuccarello for the Rangers. Dumps it behind the net, looking for Brassard. That's cut off by Stewart. He'll send it up the wing. Desjardins there on the back check, knocked away by Pouliot. Nieto. Desjardins in and onside to Burns. Burns pass denied by Girardi. Back for Hurdle. Rebound. Burns can't get a hold of it. And Pouliot tries to punch it clear, but Hurdle kept it in for the moment. Now Zuccarello skates it back out. Power play's over, and the Sharks, I guess you could say, no worse for the wear. They gave one up, but got one back, and we're still tied. Instead of 0-0, it's 1-1. That goal by Vlasic, his first of the year from Joe Pavelski. Pavelski now with 3 assists on the year in the first 3 games. Time of that goal at 4:23 shorthanded. Before that, it was Richards third from Brassard and Stepan at 3:27 on the 5-on-3. Boyle tees it up. Off a deflection, goes wide of the New York net. Thornton working behind the goal. With Hurdle there too, they separate, but the Rangers get it away. Strawman up the boards for Derek Dorsett. It bounces free to Burns at center ice.
Brett Burns is all over it right now.
Thornton turns, Sharks on a line change. He's bumped and lost the puck, but now the Sharks get it back. James Sheppard, a nice move wide. Sheppard down at the goal line, trying to get it to the front. Goes around and back for Justin Braun. Braun takes his time, feeds Sheppard. His through the legs pass broken up by Strawman. And the Rangers trying to get sorted out in their zone here. And finally do as Dominic Moore, the former Shark, plays it out. And now up to center. And Sheppard will fire it right back in again, but a nice shift by the fourth line.
Very good shift. I like the fact, Brett, that James Sheppard wanted to try to take that puck to the net from the corner.
Your coaching staff for the Sharks, he puts that shoulder down, goes right to the front of the net.
Marleau back defensively, takes a hit down at the far end from Taylor Pyatt. Sharks come through center. Logan Couture, he'll fire just wide on Lundqvist. Tyler Kennedy with Couture on this side of the ice. Marleau, their line mate, not far behind, looking for a pass if there's one there to be had. Demers for Stewart. He'll wrist it through, and it's saved by Lundqvist. Couture nicely back out to Stewart. Tees it up. That's blocked by Callahan, and it stung him. Girardi absorbs a hit from Kennedy, and the Rangers will get it clear to center as Pyatt lobs it in.
Business is picking up right now, gang.
Sharks out shooting New York 4-2, despite the fact the Rangers had the 5-on-3. 1-1 our score. Wingles. Pavelski's onside. Shoots. Saved by Lundqvist. Rebound. And Pavelski knocked it down, but it was wide. Now Dan Boyle. He'll let fly with one, and Lundqvist busy in the New York net. Great start here at SAP Center. The Sharks had a 9-game road trip a few years ago. It was not a pretty thing. The Rangers have no choice. Madison Square Garden going through the final stage of renovation. They won't be at home until October 28th. There's the time zone breakdown. 4 in the Pacific, 4 in the East, 1 in the Central. But even despite that, the Rangers will travel the fewest miles in the NHL this year. Some 27,000 less than the Sharks.
Brett, you played in the East Coast, go to the West Coast. Tough playing at 10 o'clock at night, body time?
Yeah, it really is. It's always tougher, I thought.
There's a chance for Wingles, and then on the rebound, Lundqvist, who has been super busy early, comes up with the save.
Much more interesting watching Lundqvist make a save like that than talking about time change, guys, but no doubt about it. Tougher to go that 3-hour time change from east to west, but probably good for these guys. New coach behind the bench, some new faces on this roster here for the New York Rangers, so probably nice to see these guys get on the road for a little bit early on the season.
Yeah, a new coach to them, not so new to us. Alain Vigneault trading places with John Tortorella as they swap. Sharks score, and it's 2-1. Dan Boyle powering it home from the right point.
Brett, there's a shoot-first mentality going through the team right now.
Well, these first 2 games, they did nothing but shoot the puck. Lots of pucks and rubber to the net, and they're picking that up here tonight, too. Dan Boyle just not wasting any time before guys can get in that shot lane. Pulls a trigger, finds a 5-hole through there through Lundqvist.
Goes off of Mark Stahl's leg. That's what happens when you go to the net. You drag an opposition player with you. More traffic off the knee of Mark Stahl into his own net. The Sharks grab the lead. It shows you how important faceoffs are.
Dan Boyle gets his first goal of the year. And the Sharks, after giving up that early goal to Richards 5-on-3, have come back to take the lead in this game. And they're out shooting the Rangers 9-2 here in the early going. Not a lot unlike what they did to Phoenix the other night when they had 51 shots on goal before it was all said and done. We'll see how this one ends up, but a lot of hockey remaining here as Boyle gets his first. Matt Nieto, his first NHL point with the primary assist. Joe Pavelski, who won the draw, got the second helper, and that's 2 points already tonight for number 8, Pavelski. 7:56, time of that go-ahead goal for Boyle. Steered in, Lundqvist settling it, and Girardi now will slowly size things up from behind the New York net. A rather rude awakening for them on the heels of what was such a good performance for them last night in LA. And it's covered up by Niemi. I don't buy into the fact that the back-to-back situation for New York is all that tough early in the year like this. They had 3 days of rest before they even played LA last night.
I would be inclined to agree with you, but let's talk to a guy who played in the NHL for a number of years and won a Stanley Cup. Brett, early in the season, back-to-backs. What are your thoughts?
Later in my career, I actually enjoyed them because I was loose and I feel like I was into the rhythm of the game. And, you know, sometimes when you're young in your career, to battle through sometimes back-to-back. But it just depends what kind of condition you're in. If you're in good condition, no problems.
A steal for Kennedy. All alone, Couture. Marleau, and he grazed the post with that one-timer. Now Rick Nash back the other way for the Rangers. Nash with his back to the net and well defended by Brad Stewart. Didn't give Nash an inch. Demers angles across, fires this into the Rangers zone. Lundqvist has to paddle to the side as Couture was going to get to it first. Now Logan working against 2 defenders. Stepan plays it up the boards, and Aaron Asham takes it off his skate into his stick for New York. 2-1 Sharks on goals by Vlasic and Boyle. And Richards with the glove saved by Niemi.
Well, a great chance, another great chance for the Sharks. 3 guys get involved, and Henrik Lundqvist may get a piece of it or way off to the side. As we look at Dan Boyle, scored the second goal of the game. Henrik Lundqvist has been busy, 9 shots already. We're not even halfway through the first period.
Congratulations to Nieto for his first NHL point. I know family in Long Beach are watching this one and cheering for him. Playing in only his 3rd NHL game as the puck is scooped over the San Jose net. Dan Boyle digging in back there for the Sharks. Asham there for the Rangers. So is Dorsett. Asham comes out with it. Aaron Asham angled away by Matt Irwin. Now Derek Dorsett, the former Blue Jacket. Part of the big Marion Gaborik trade last year. James Shepard slips that one by John Moore, who also was part of that mega deal. Now Asham, checked by Shepard. Shepard looking to move the puck. And Callahan got in there, and it's wheeled around to this side for the Rangers. Big hit behind the play as Desjardins went after John Moore. Play continues in the San Jose zone. And Braun with some help from Vlasic, and they move it up the ice. Tommy Wingels. He'll just softly chip backhand off the boards around McDonough. Wheels it for Pavelski on the far side. Joe Pavelski, high slot. Braun, fake, shoots. Lundqvist makes the save. It falls to his side, and with help from Brian Boyle, he covers. Dan Boyle with his first of the year. The Sharks pouring it on here against the Rangers of the night. This time it's the best winning percentage, or points rather, at SAP Center by a visiting team in a minimum of 10 games, and it's the Rangers on top. Winning percentage of almost 70. 8-3-2. Of course, they played many fewer games than most of those teams. The Western teams like St. Louis, Dallas, and Anaheim.
I only remember the 3 wins. I don't remember the 8 losses.
This is the 88th season for the New York Rangers, and putting that into perspective, 22nd season for the Sharks. As Braun's shot gets through Lundqvist, they've been around a lot longer.
February, sometime this season, they will play their 6,000th game in the National Hockey League. It's going to be February 6th versus the Edmonton Oilers. 6,000th franchise game.
Puck tipped out of play behind the Ranger bench with a little over 8.5 to go in this first. Some more Ranger history. Came in back in 26-27. You remember the Detroit Cougars? I don't.
Yeah, I certainly do. Yeah, I do.
That's another story. Finished first in their division or conference 7 times, 4 cup wins. Their last one, though, was 1994. With Mike Keenan behind the bench as their head coach and Mark Messier leading the way as their captain. He recently left the Ranger organization.
Yeah. Some thought that he was going to be the guy that was going to be standing behind the bench.
Well, maybe he thought that, and when Glenn Sather went in another direction.
Although he said that wasn't the reason that he decided to leave.
Yeah, but I don't think he'd ever show up Glenn Sather. That's just not Mark Messier's style. Nonetheless, it's expected he's going to join the Edmonton Oilers in some capacity soon. At least that's the scuttlebutt around the league. Back to the matter at hand here. The Sharks with a 2-1 lead, 12 minutes into this first period. In this first meeting in a couple of years between these teams. And it's been a spirited one so far. Sharks out shooting New York 11-4, and much of the play has been in the New York end of the ice. In trouble for Jason Demers. Good forecheck by Pyatt and Zuccarello. Now the Sharks have come up the other side of the ice. Change again back to Demers. And Brad Stewart would like to try and get this out without too many more passes. And he finally just dumps it back into the Ranger zone. Icing called here against the Sharks. Well, there's nothing better than seeing the Sharks play here at SAP Center, and you can experience it yourself. There are still tickets available for most Sharks home games, like Saturday night when the Ottawa Senators make their only visit here. Act now. Go to Ticketmaster.com/San Jose Sharks.
That's a good young team, the Ottawa Senators. Erik Karlsson,
Milan Michalek,
Jared Cowan. There's some good players on that team. That team will be a force to reckon with. That's going to be a good test for the Sharks as well.
Their new captain, Jason Spezza.
The great Paul McLean, head coach.
Looking forward to that. Saturday night, that's a special 7 o'clock face-off. It'll be on Hockey Night in Canada north of the border. So we'll be on the air at 6:30 with pregame live Saturday. Sharks sends. Irwin slap shot, and it hit Burns, and it kicks all the way out to Pouliot. Pouliot.
Hit Hurdle.
Or it hit Hurdle. You're right. He's in pain going to the San Jose bench. And not into the dressing room so far. Taking a seat on the bench as he's attended to by the Sharks medical staff, and now they will usher him into the Sharks dressing room. We'll keep an eye on that. Both Burns and Hurdle were in front, but you're right, it was Hurdle. As the shot by Dorsett goes wide off the deflection, rimmed around to the near side. Well, we know how Matt Irwin can shoot it, and Hurdle just found himself in the way. John Moore drops it. Anton Skalman up the right wing side for New York, but Wingels coming back, takes it again for the Sharks. Pavelski wanted Wingels coming through the middle. A race to the puck. Wingels there first, but then he overskates it on the back check by Moore. Dorsett, and he'll just dump it in. So the Sharks minus a forward on their top line right now. Todd McClellan will eventually have to get around to juggling his look up front as Couture tries to get it front side. Denied there. Braun from the point back to Logan in the corner. Watched by Rick Nash. The one-timer fired by Kennedy. Rebound. Lundqvist made 2 big saves there. Now Kennedy again. Pass attempt blocked. Kennedy still trying to make something happen. Finally, Brad Richards settles it down for New York. Here's Del Zotto, and he went top corner and just missed.
Defenseman jumping up in the play. Nice play by the New York Rangers.
Richards, who has the New York goal tonight, sends it back in as Justin Braun will control it for the Sharks. 2-1, under 5.5 to go here in the opening period. The Sharks without Tomas Hurdle right now as he was shaken up, getting in the way of a Matt Irwin shot on his last shift.
But the Rangers did very well last night against the Los Angeles Kings. They got back in the neutral zone, took away any opportunity for a passing lane, and then come right back for the attack, and they've done that last couple of times.
John Moore for Pyatt. Behind the net, trying to get it out in front for Doyle is Callahan. And McCarthy now to James Shepard. On to Andrew Desjardins. Cuts to the middle, wrist shot, stick save. And McCarthy was hammered at the side of the net as the puck goes out of play. The kid shaken up. We'll try and get you an update. 2-1, Sharks leading the Rangers here in the first period. We mentioned New York played in LA last night, beat the Kings 3-1. This was on an LA power play. Ryan McDonough on the penalty kill, just trying to clear it. Jonathan Quick dropped his stick, put his blocker down. Oh no, it went in. It's a goal. McDonough didn't even know what was happening. Everybody in the bench was cheering. Jonathan Quick Feeling embarrassment, shame, pain, Alain Vigneault happy he picked up his first win. Daryl Sutter, the Kings coach, on our Geico quote said after the game, hey, speaking of quick, he dropped his stick. What do you want me to talk about? Tell him not to drop his stick. Sounds very Daryl Sutter-like.
Very Sutter-esque.
Tomas Hertl back on the bench. That's good to see.
Very good to see. This is what happens when you go to the net. Sometimes you're going to get hit by a puck. It takes courage to get there, especially when the guys shoot. And you want to make sure you keep Tomas healthy, because in the lineup, he is being right now a difference maker.
Didn't miss a shift. Pavelski's line on the ice, flanked on his right by Matt Nieto, who has his first NHL point in this game tonight. On the left, it's Wingels. Off the draw, Sharks battle to get it back, and it's Pavelski. Wants to go to the point for Demers. Instead, it's Nieto. Back to the far side, and Stewart can't catch it. So far, just 4 shots in this period for New York. One of them went in on the 5-on-3 goal by Richards, as Lundqvist has trouble back there. Wingels almost picked his pocket. Back come the Rangers. Stewart has to turn back, supported by Demers, who comes all the way across. Pyatt able to pick it up, though. Now Demers holding off Taylor Pyatt. And a blind no-look backhand pass. Pyatt had turned toward the bench, allowing Wingels to take it and slide it down. Sharks will leave tomorrow for their first road trip of the year, just a one-gamer to Vancouver. So another tilt with the Canucks, who the Sharks have now beaten 10 times in a row. Zuccarello. Del Zotto back over to this side. Now Pouliot, strong backhand feed, far side. Del Zotto to the defenseman, and a good stick by Brent Burns. On the return shot, it's turned aside by Niemi on the hard effort by Zuccarello and out of play.
Todd McLellan talks about his players being accountable. Young player Matt Nieto, watch him work back to the neutral zone and get above the play. Go ahead and roll this, guys. It's not a big, sexy play. It's not something you look at and go, wow, what a great play. This is a smart play, Brett, by a young player, knowing what he's supposed to do in this situation.
Great pickup, Drew. You looked at his stick there. He kept the stick on the inside, waited, delayed for the rush. Delayed the rush a little bit. That's what we talk about in that neutral zone. Wait for help to come back and retreat of the other 2 forwards, but he does a great job of it there. Then he forces at the red line. Great job.
McDonough. Now Stepan, and that's intercepted. Couture for Boyle on the wing with Marleau. Good speed. Couture's open, but knocked down in front. Then Couture gets it back. Here's Marleau, wraparound try. Blocked on the goal line by McDonough.
There's where that new net, smaller net, shallower net almost worked for the San Jose Sharks. Good play by Ryan McDonough.
Niemi kicks a real big rebound right to Kennedy. 2-on-2 with Couture. They overlap. Logan back toward the net, and Kennedy didn't see it coming. His back was still turned to the play.
Good idea to eye up there and go for the shot with Kennedy going to net.
Down under 3 minutes left in this first period. It's been entertaining hockey for sure. And the Sharks controlling the flow of play for the most part, out shooting the Rangers 14-4 right now. Now Hertl back out there for the first time since blocking that shot. Burns takes it off his skate. Back is Mark Stahl, and he'll slide it up the boards, but right to Hertl. Hertl to the point for Braun. Braun to Thornton. Big wide turn by Jumbo Joe. Thornton still with it, but the Rangers, Derek Dorsett, able to push it back into the neutral zone. Girardi's pass broken up by Hertl. It's Thornton again. Plays it off for Vlasic. Back for Braun. Sharks moving the puck very well tonight. As it comes up the wing for Thornton, he'll guide it deep into Ranger territory. Hertl's there. Slips a hit from Stahl. In the corner, battling away. 19-year-old Tomas Hertl. It's got to be a thrill for him to play the New York Rangers. I don't care where you're from. You've heard of the New York Rangers, one of hockey's original 6, and Hertl right in the middle of it tonight. Now Dominic Moore. For Del Zotto, just kept it in with the backhand. Up the wing for Zuccarello. He tries to hold off Stewart, can't, but the puck's still in the zone. Zuccarello for Moore. Dominic Moore absorbs a hit behind the net. Gets away from Shepard. Moore bumps it back to the point. Del Zotto slap shot blocked by Desjardins. A race to the loose puck, but Del Zotto has just a step on number 10, and he'll head off on a line change. But a good shift there again for this fourth line. The Todd McLellan's been able to just roll over the boards tonight, and they've looked very good against the Rangers. Shepard, Desjardins, and John McCarthy. And here's Wingels, chased by Strawman. Tommy Wingels puts on the brakes. Trailing is Dan Boyle. Looking for the side. Pavelski out front. And Nieto couldn't get hold of it. The stick was occupied. Rangers going to get a power play here late. As Pyatt dumps it in, the touch by Bull, the whistle, and we'll get the call against the Sharks with 48 seconds left to go in the period.
Let's go all the way back to the chance by Patrick Marleau. Patrick, smart play, goes around the net, but that's a really terrific play. I think there's all three of them by the New York Rangers. And here's the chance by Joe Pavelski, which is going to lead to the penalty. Good chance out front, almost. And then as pursuit comes back to the puck, Joe Pavelski accidentally got his stick up, and it's 2 minutes high sticking. And the Sharks on the penalty kill once again.
Joe Pavelski's first minor penalty of the season, and he won't be able to score shorthanded this time. He's in the sin bin for the high stick at 19-11. And a steal for Couture. What a great play! He's got a breakaway! Logan Couture! And it's saved by Lundqvist.
What a play that was. Brett, come on, man.
Backhand pass to himself. Just how smart is this kid? He's just so fun to watch. Picks his puck off, gets a stick down right here, takes it, watch it right now. He passes it to himself behind his back. Off to the races go. He's not going to catch him. Tries to open the 5-hole, and Lundqvist there for the task.
But just before it, he gets that puck with his glove at the blue line. You see him put his glove out to kind of take away that space. As you said, smart hockey player.
I am just astounded at how many quality scoring chances the Sharks have had shorthanded in just 7 periods this season.
That was a play. That he puts that in, this place goes crazy, and that's one of the goals of the year. That's such an excellent play by Logan Couture. Shows you got to play with your head and you got to play with your body. I guess your head's part of your body, but you know what I mean. The brain. Your brain and your body.
I get you.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
3 points on the year for Logan. A goal and 2 assists, and he almost had his first shorthanded one there. Still on the power play here as we wind down to 15 seconds left in the first period. Rangers trying to get this game tied, and a shot up top. Rims off of Niemi and off the netting, and the officials didn't see it.
Clearly. The linesman was going to call it, then he changed his mind. He put his whistle up to his mouth.
Now Zuccarello in front. Pouliot and Niemi with great reaction, able to kick that out as the first period comes to an end.
Well, you know what? The linesman was going to call it, and then he changed his mind. It almost ended up as a goal. That's got to be talked about amongst the officials.
Sharks will have a minute 12 to kill when the second period begins. Stick around. Dave Feldman standing by with a Sportsnet Central update. And Brody Brazil will be back to talk to the Sharks. Dan Boyle, they lead the Rangers 2-1 after 1. 2-1 as we get set to start the second period. Time for our McDonald's True Stories. You'll recall in the lockout shortened season last year, Patrick Marleau got off to a torrid goal-scoring start. He scored in the first 5 games of the season, including 2 goals in each of the first 4 games. Of course, the Sharks went on to win 7 in a row, shocking the hockey world, at least for those 2 or 3 weeks. Things calmed down after that. But since 08-09, only Alex Ovechkin and Steven Stamkos have scored more goals in this league than number 12, Mr. Shark. Played his entire career here, Patrick Marleau.
Just when you watch Patrick Marleau, what you notice, and he's worked on this, and he'll talk about it. Guys like Vinny Damphousse, he'll point to when he early in his career was a big influence on him, how to just stay calm, same frame of mind, don't get too up, don't get too down, just go out, prepare properly, and execute every time you get the opportunity.
Opening week of hockey is presented by Dairy Queen. Sharks have some penalty kill work to do here. A minute 12 left on the minor penalty to Joe Pavelski for high sticking that came in the last minute of the first period. Logan Couture had a great shorthanded opportunity. Pavelski's already had a great one himself tonight. He's had one in each of the games so far. And when you're killing penalties and also threatening while doing so, that's a good thing. Sharks have the shorthanded goal tonight for Marc-Edouard Vlasic. There is Alain Vigneault, former coach of the Vancouver Canucks. Before that, the Montreal Canadiens. It's been a while, though, since Vigneault was in the Eastern Conference, so he wisely bolstered his coaching staff with some people who know the West, like Scott Arniel, who was the former coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, who used to be in the West, but now they're in the East. But you get what I mean.
I get what you mean.
Of course, John Tortorella did the same thing in Vancouver, bringing Glenn Gulutzan in, former head coach of the Dallas Stars. And we'll see Vancouver Thursday night when the Sharks play their first road game. Ranger power play on the ice here as they try and tie the game, and they've had a good bit of time to talk about what they wanted to do here. It's in front, and a chance for Zuccarello, and Antiniemi. That's his biggest save of the game so far.
Matt Zuccarello in tight. And the undrafted Norwegian gets a great opportunity. Backhand, forehand, that little backhand just gave Niemi enough time to come over. But look at Antiniemi. Comes over, squares up, and then makes sure there's absolutely no rebound. We always talk about your best penalty killer. Should be your goaltender right there. The goaltender was tested, came up huge.
Remarkably, Niemi also undrafted in the National Hockey League. Started with Chicago as a free agent. As the Rangers continue here on the power play. Richards from the point. Now down behind the net. McDonough trying to get hold of it. And Brassard is chased out of the zone by Thornton. Joe's got the puck. He's onside. He has help. Demers can't catch the pass, but it'll come back Thornton's way. 12 seconds left on the power play.
Wow.
And McCarthy will just steer it safely back to Demers, who checks the clock, and that's going to do it for the New York power play as the Sharks get it done.
Well, great work by Joe Thornton there all the way down the ice.
Oh, he did a great job, didn't he, Brady? With the three guys around him, he's still controlling the puck on the play.
Sharks have taken all the penalties in this game. They have not had a man advantage chance themselves. And that's what makes that shorthanded goal by Vlasic even bigger.
Very important. And Joe Pavelski out of the penalty box, and if you look at Joe Thornton, the other Joe in the lineup, no ordinary Joe when you look at the way he plays, and that was a great job by Joe Thornton. And an indication when you watch Joe how he has, I don't want to say changed his game, Brett, but I say his game has evolved now, is where he is in the league, how long he's been in the league, how hard he works away from the puck.
Well, Tom McLellan has done a great job of putting him in all different types of situations, get him to kill penalties, get him out there on 4-on-4, and you just see all the skill that Joe Thornton has, and boy, just fun to watch on a nightly basis.
Brian Boyle for New York, Dan Boyle for the Sharks. Now Pavelski, out wide to Matt Nieto, takes it off the boards with Wingels. Defended nicely there by Strawman for the Rangers. Steered back in again by Nieto. Wingels. It's a rough ride down low. Strawman falls. Pavelski out top. And Vlasic slapped it wide. Behind the net. The swing pass attempt by Wingels. It pinballs around through some Rangers skates. Dorsett will flick it clear in front of his own bench for New York. Justin Braun scored opening night, had the game winner, the first of his career. Thornton, and the one-timer by Hertl. He didn't get all of it.
Just tried to sweep it forward.
Vlasic, and he didn't break his stick, but certainly didn't get as much on it as he had hoped. Thornton back in on the quick re-entry from Burns. Around John Moore. Thornton wheels it up top. Demers keeps the feet moving. Back for Jumbo Joe. Demers shot deflects. Hertl behind the net with Burns. And they get it to Brad Stewart, who slips a hit from Pouliot. Couture now. Sharks on a change. Logan down low. Hertl changes his mind. Back over to Couture. Now Kennedy with speed. Stewart scoops a shot that was wide. Couture battling Benoit Pouliot. Gets to the puck. The pass blocked by Strawman. And the Rangers come out.
Nice little shift.
All started from a good change down low for the San Jose Sharks. They wholesaled it. They kept the pressure on. Got some chances from it.
2-1 goals by Vlasic and Boyle for the Sharks. Brad Richards for New York. Authentic Raiders fans turn to Comcast Sportsnet for in-depth coverage every day and online. Plus, the authentic post-game show of the team is Raiders Post-Game Live. The authentic home of the Raiders is Comcast Sportsnet. They had a big win on Sunday night. The late game.
Isn't it?
I don't think there are many people in the East Coast stayed up for that one. It didn't start till 11:30 Eastern p.m. Matt Irwin Going to go back on this one, and there's the hybrid icing as the whistle is blown before it's touched.
Interesting that the 2 goals so far have come from the San Jose Sharks defense. You know, when the coaching staff looks at the season after the previous season was over, one of the things they look at is, okay, where's our scoring coming from? Do we need more scoring from the point? How can we get more from here or that guy? And right now, Brett, it just looks like a shoot, shoot, shoot.
They're doing a great job of getting out of that shot lane. Dan Boyle talked about that in the first intermission, and that's one of the things I'm sure they worked on in the preseason and training camp.
Nieto, checked by Stepan, wins the battle out of the corner. Then McDonough leans on him. Rookie Matt Nieto finds Wingles, and then it deflects off Pavelski to the net. Irwin up high, and Lundqvist makes the save, screened by Wingles. It's Nieto again, pokes it out to Pavelski. He's pinned up along the boards. Girardi trying to move it, but Boyle intercepts. Wingles. That won't get through to the net. Broken up by the Rangers. Zuccarello back behind the net as New York regroups. As we said, these teams will also play at MSG, but that won't be till March 16th after the Olympic break. There's plenty of Olympic hopefuls between these 2 rosters for sure. Be stunning if Lundqvist isn't the starter for Sweden. Desjardins and Lundqvist up on his toes to make that and hang on.
Well, Brett, you mentioned the defenseman starting to move. Goes back to point freezer right there, guys. Brett, go ahead.
Right there, you got Matt Irwin right in the middle of the ice, but you see a mass of bodies, but you see he kept pulling it. And you talked about in the first period, Drew, can you get more power on it when you do pull it? Absolutely, you can lean into it, your shoulder down deep, and you just throw it towards the net. And just a great job by the defenseman moving out of the shot lane.
Exactly what you talked about. It just happened right then and there.
Just been informed by Rangers media relations, Rick Nash out with an undisclosed injury, will not return tonight.
Oh, didn't see that.
That could be part concussion, guys.
Here's a chance in front, the setup by Shepard, but Desjardins fan.
Did he get hit, Brett, that we missed?
That was that hit by
Brad Stewart.
Early in the first period. He hit him right in the head. He was woozy coming off the ice.
Now Tomas Hertl. He was shaken up in the first period, blocking a hard Matt Irwin shot. Thornton out of the corner for the kid. Hertl to his forehand, and just as he released, Stahl blocked it.
He wants to turn and fire that, try to get it upstairs because he knows Lundqvist is going to go down on that play.
Pyatt trying to clear does. This will go all the way back, and they'll blow it down, icing New York. Well, gear up for the new season at the Shark Store, the best place to find the latest and greatest Sharks merchandise, including the exclusive Sharktoberfest gear. Right now they have limited edition Sharktoberfest t-shirts, a puck, and a chrome Stein. Shark Store is open right here at SAP Center Monday through Saturday, 11 to 5, and during all home games, like tonight, of course, and like Saturday night when Ottawa's here at 7 o'clock. So no Rick Nash. And that forces Alain Vigneault to break up that top line of Richard, Stepan, and Nash. We'll step aside 2-1, Sharks lead. Drew Remenda, Brett Hedican, Brody Brazil, we're all live back at SAP Center in San Jose. There's Matt Nieto, who has his first NHL point in his 3rd game tonight. The assist on Dan Boyle's goal back in the first period. If you go back to last year at the end of the regular season, through the playoffs of last year, and through 2 games this year, the Sharks, my friend, have an 8-game home ice win streak.
Wow.
They did not lose a playoff game at home last year. Of course, Game 7 was in LA against the Kings after they had swept Vancouver. Thornton now as the Sharks try and build on this lead. Stewart slap shot wide. Demers, and that's blocked.
They're not even thinking about handling the puck or anything, the defense for the Sharks. It's get it to the net right away.
And they do there. Lundqvist up to the task.
Last year when Doug Wilson, when the Sharks were in that slump and they only won 6 games of 23, Doug Wilson had a talk about the team had to be more north-south and had to be a shoot-first mentality. Todd McClellan pressing that point today was, guys, one of his keys to the game was, we have a look at the Sharks general manager, one of the keys to the game for the Sharks coaching staff was shooting, shoot-first mentality. They certainly have it in their head.
Off the face-off, Del Zotto Up for Stepan, and that'll go the length of the ice. Stepan kind of just getting into shape for New York. He missed most of camp through a contract holdout, eventually signed a 2-year deal for about $3 a year, kind of his bridge contract, if you will, if he continues to develop the way he has. The next contract's going to be the real big one, but they finally worked it out as Irwin's shot was saved by Lundqvist.
He certainly could be a guy that would be a candidate for the U.S. Olympic team to Sochi.
Back to Boyle. Fakes, shoots, saved by Lundqvist. Irwin trying to work it through Del Zotto, and then he gets it back from Kennedy. Another shot, rebound, and Lundqvist denies Couture. Boyle in traffic, gets it through. Kennedy trying to redirect. Couture spinning for Kennedy. Can't get the handle on it, and Derek Stepan will play it up. Sharks get it back, but Marleau can't advance it. Here's Stepan across the line. Richards with him. No Nash, though. He's out for the rest of the game. Zuccarello took a shift with that line this time out as Marleau tries to go around Strawman.
Tough change here.
Here come the Rangers. Dominic Moore to the net. Turned aside by Niemi, and it comes all the way back out to Tommy Wingels. Sharks got away with a tough change there.
Yeah, Patrick Marleau thought he was going to have some help, tried to make the move with the offensive blue line, turned it over.
And Lundqvist carefully guarding that short side. Nieto nicely to Pavelski. Far side, Wingels off a skate in front, and they score! Matt Nieto with his first National Hockey League goal!
All starts in the neutral zone. Matt Nieto makes the play, and then what does he do?
Well, he goes right to the front of the net, and he gets the puck right there, but you talked about it. You even said it under your breath right there. It's a beautiful pass right here. Gets it with his glove, and then slides it through the skate. Pavelski does the rest, just finds a way to get it all the way over, and then just a great pass up to Nieto, driving to the net. First National Hockey League goal.
Big smile on the kid's face, and the young guys who will be put into a position of a chance to succeed by Todd McLellan are succeeding in what Todd McLellan has called a small sample, but still a good sample.
They're cheering for 20-year-old Long Beach, California native Matt Nieto. His first NHL goal set up by Wingels and Pavelski. A 3-on-2, a shot, a save, a rebound, and the Sharks back on it. John McCarthy in the corner up the near side boards. Shepard with help from Desjardins. Now McCarthy as they swarm the puck. Vlasic, far side, room for Stewart, shoots, and saved by Lundqvist. Comes right back up top, another shot, and that got through. McCarthy screening, somehow Lundqvist kept it out. 25 shots on goal already for the Sharks, and we're not even halfway through this period. They lead at 3-1. Pavelski's assisted on all 3 goals. He's having a night. Desjardins, they score! It's Hurdle!
James Shepard, Andrew Desjardins win the battle. Defense steps up, moves it. Now watch the track by Andrew Desjardins. He just chips it to himself. He's going to track it down. He's already looking in front. And Brett, once again, go to the net.
You talked about it last game, that puck management at the blue line. He does a great job with it, Desjardins, and then Hurdle does a beautiful job, not going to the far post, going to the middle, wait for that puck and chips it up over the shoulder. 3rd goal of the season.
3rd goal of the year for Tomas Hurdle. And the Rangers have taken their time out. And a goaltending change as well. The Sharks have chased King Henrik. Lundqvist done for the night.
Well, there's nothing that I would look at on those 4 goals where I'd say Henrik Lundqvist was having a bad night, Brett. I would look at that and say the San Jose Sharks are back to their usual tricks. The battle in the neutral zone. Andrew Desjardins, James Shepard, who've been very good tonight along with John McCarthy, battling. There's McCarthy, kicks it back. Now you're going to jump out. Now Desjardins is going to jump out of there and be able to get open off the battle against Derek Dorsett. You got to continue to battle. Picks up the stick, continues to battle, and then he gets this little play. Getting in the neutral zone. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the last goal. This is the Nieto goal. Shot by Nieto as he goes right to the net. Terrific job by Matt Nieto. Terrific job by Andrew Desjardins. Here come the Sharks.
Here they come again. Hurdle! And his shot deflects off Del Zotto's stick and out of play.
They're just flying right now.
There's Martin Biron in goal now for the Rangers as Henrik Lundqvist takes a seat on the bench. He faced 26 shots in less than half a hockey game.
Well, Henrik Lundqvist is one of the top goaltenders in the league, and Alain Vigneault is thinking to himself, is this April again? Is this May again in HP? SAP?
There's a shot and a goal! And it's Logan Couture as he beats Biron on the first shot he faces.
That puck went up and over the net.
Yeah.
Winning the face-off and shooting the puck, and it just gets a kooky bounce. And Logan Couture used to be an excellent baseball player, an all-star baseball player, as you aptly demonstrated, partner in the Sharks TV commercials. Great eye-hand coordination, but it starts with winning the face-off, Brett.
It starts with winning the face-off, and like you talked about earlier, guys, it's getting that puck to the front of the net. They're not even thinking about it. They're firing it, everybody, from the D to the forwards, getting it to the front.
The Rangers are coming unraveled here in the second period, and they're going to have to calm things down somehow, but I don't know how. The Sharks with 2 goals in 20 seconds from Hurdle and Couture to make it 5-1, and we are just now hitting the halfway point of this game. The Sharks outshooting New York 27-9.
The Sharks, they've had some fortune. That's a fortunate bounce for the Sharks. And Matt Nieto's goal, the pass from Wingels goes off the skate to Nieto, but within that good fortune are the Sharks tracking down pucks, driving towards the net, playing fast, playing with speed, winning the races. And the good fortune is what you make it. You make your own good fortune in this game.
Hurdle's goal was his 3rd from Desjardins and Demers, and then Couture's his 2nd from Marleau and Irwin. A save by Niemi, a shot by Zuccarello that goes wide, and a turnover to Strawman, but Kennedy, who gave it away, helps to get it back. And Dan Boyle sends it up ice. So 2 goals in 20, 3 Sharks goals in 1 minute and 23 seconds. 2 of them against Lundqvist, chasing him to the bench. And then poor Marty Biron comes in, and the first shot he sees goes in as Niemi makes the glove save. 5 unanswered goals by the Sharks. Nieto with the first of his career. Then Hurdle, the super rookie, with his 3rd. And then Logan Couture. 5-1, Sharks leading the Rangers here in the second period. A big night for the team. A big night for Matt Nieto, his first NHL goal. He's with Brodie Brazil.
Matt Nieto, I know a lot has happened since then, but your first NHL goal, has it sunk in yet?
Not really, no, but we're still in the middle of a game right now, so I'm just trying to keep it going, and we have to keep playing the right way.
Don't let Pavelski haze you here. Hey, you guys are playing awfully quick tonight. Seems like you're setting the pace. How are you doing that as a team?
I just think we're moving the puck quickly, and when we move the puck fast, that's when we play fast.
Congratulations. Enjoy this.
Thanks a lot.
Randy and Drew back upstairs.
Matt Nieto, the first ever California-born player picked by the Sharks in the NHL entry draft. Back in 2011, they got him in the 2nd round. Played his high school hockey at Salisbury Prep in Connecticut, but before that was with the LA Selects. And there's a lot of his friends, family, and fans in Southern California and Orange County who are loving this tonight from Nieto. He's got a goal and an assist, but more importantly, the Sharks all over the Rangers here, 5-1. Past the halfway point now with 9:03 left to go in the second period. Little breakdown in front of the Sharks net, but cleaned up by Tommy Wingels. And back forward come the Sharks, 3-on-2. Wingels going to the net is Braun, and the save made by Biron.
Oh, I like that play by Tommy Wingels. Opens up a little bit. Looked like he's going to pass. And then throws it towards the net hard with a wrist shot with Braun going to the net. Looking for a rebound. So on this play, just go ahead and roll this, guys, for a second. As it starts to go up the ice, watch the drive to the net. Freeze it, gang. Drive to the net, then take the space that's going to become available as the drive pushes the defense back. Go. open space, and then fire it, looking for the rebound. Both guys go to the net. Good play. So you got that one drive. Even if you get picked up on the drive, it's going to clear space, and that's where that third man can sneak in. You can pass it back, drive it there, or throw it towards the net.
Wingles with an assist tonight, and he had a goal in that Sharks 4-1 win over the Canucks to open the season here last Thursday night. Mike Del Zotto over to the left side. Mark Stahl a drive and a hard slap shot high.
Mark Stahl can shoot. Mark back playing this year, which is he missed 27 games, the last 27 games of the season last year with a very scary eye injury.
Now what a difference 24 hours makes for the Rangers. Last night a very good game, but they played a very sound defensive game, and tonight it's come undone for them. They lost 4-1 in Phoenix as well, and we've seen their goals against go up even more so here tonight against the Sharks. Sent in by Dan Boyle. Hurdle there first, and that had a chance. Here's Burns, and his backhander just missed, and it went up into the netting and out of play.
Really nice play by Dan Boyle. Heads up play. Doesn't have a direct pass, so Brett, he's going to use the end boards.
He uses the end boards with a guy skating full speed. Hurdle beats him to the puck and then keeps it rolling right here. Gets it out front to Brent Burns in a spinorama, but just goes a little bit high over the net.
Boy, and he had Braun going down, too. He was on his pads when that puck went over his head.
I like that play, Brett. I think that's a heads-up play by Boyle.
The next Shark shot on goal will be their 30th, and we're just past the halfway point of the second. 51 shots here Saturday night against Phoenix. Dan Boyle stick breaks. Now he's in a tough spot. He's got to defend without it.
He did!
And he did defend with the broken stick. Here's a breakaway for Hurdle. Score! Does Dan Boyle get the assist?
I don't know. Are you kidding me? Brett, I've never seen anything like this.
The guys are, like you talked about, are playing so fast right now. They're moving the puck, and Hurdle just puts himself in a position to receive this pass. And Joe Thornton just gets a good heads up. And watch this move, folks.
Oh, baby. Well, Dan Boyle stick breaks. Another fortuitous play, but then being able to capitalize on your luck. And boy, that's a sweet set of hands. Wow.
Tomas Hurdle, his second goal of this period. 4 goals in his first 2+ NHL games. And SAP Center's going wild as Logan Couture almost made it 7-1 there. Now Tyler Kennedy. His shot, and Braun with the blocker turns it aside. Couture goes right back down to Kennedy to Marleau. Back for Couture. Over to Demers. Shoots it just wide. Kennedy, Stewart, Demers again. Zuccarello pressures back over to Stewart. He'll soft pass it off the end boards. Kennedy almost chipped it in. It's in the feet of Braun. Flick back out. Sharks will keep it in. Demers, Couture, fakes, shoots, blocked by Zuccarello off the high glass behind the Ranger net. Kennedy. Brad Stewart back up the wing for Tyler Kennedy. He's got Demers. Back for Pavelski, and his feet gets it to his stick, and Braun makes a nice shoulder save.
What a play that was by Pavelski.
The Sharks having their way on that shift.
What a play that was by Pavelski. Guy wrapped around him. Here they come again.
Steered in by Wingles. Biron paddles it hard up the wing, and he got it past Wingles. Now at center, the Rangers, as Pouliot able to stay onside, but then lost the puck, and Vlasic gets it to Pavelski. Joe Pavelski, Del Zotto's back. Drops it for Wingles. His shot blocked by Del Zotto. Nieto now to Wingles. He's shoved out of the way, but gets his footing again, only to be knocked down once more.
Skating there, and then he may take a skate in the face.
Pouliot for the Rangers. Poke checked away by Vlasic. Now behind the net, a battle there. Sharks come up with it again. A turnover to Pouliot. Benoit Pouliot, backhand, good read in front by the Sharks defensively. And Nieto will have time to clear it out. Does off the near side boards. 5.5 to go here in the second period. The Sharks have scored 6 unanswered goals after the early Ranger goal by Mike Richards, or Brad Richards rather, made it 1-0. It's been all San Jose. McCarthy. Dorsett paid the price. He was hammered by Shepard as he got rid of that. And he's shaken up. Derek Dorsett in some trouble on the way to the Ranger bench. He drops his stick, can't even hang on to it. They've already lost Rick Nash in this game. Joe Thornton up the wing. Boyle down for McCarthy. Tied up by Delzato. Brian Boyle back there for the Rangers against Thornton. Delzato pushes it over to Callahan. And Burns trying to keep it in the zone. Hurdle checks Callahan. Hyatt for the Rangers, and he'll send it deep. Just 11 shots in this game for New York. 7 of those came in the first period, so they've had only 4 here in the second. Thornton guides it down the boards for Tomas Hurdle. Picked back up by Richards. Hurdle tried to get it off him. To this side for McDonough, stolen by Thornton. In front off a Ranger stick, and back up the ice to Derek Brassard. Brassard with Richards going hard to the net. The pass back for Callahan, and Stewart angled across and interfered with that shot.
Brett, did he get a piece of that?
Couldn't see. Bench stood up here on this end.
I think he did.
Strowman, slapper, deflects out of play. Tomas Hurdle has 2 goals in the period. The Sharks rolling tonight here over the Blue Shirts.
Guys like Matt Nieto gets his first NHL goal. And Tomas Hurdle gets not 1 tonight, but 2 tonight to make it 4 in 3 games. Those are your Ford right choice out of the NHL draft. San Jose Shark young guys making a splash.
They sure are. As Henrik Lundqvist came out of this game when the score went to 4-1. And Martin Biron, the Ranger backup for the last 4 years, has allowed 2 more by Couture and Hurdle. Here's a steal, Ranger shot, Niemi makes the save.
That's what you need your goaltender to do. Just an unfortunate turnover by Irwin right there. Good defensive play by the Rangers, and they get a great scoring chance right here. It was a well-executed reverse, but then it was a nice Callahan with his stick down, picks that puck off, and takes it right to the net, but Niemi stays ready even into a 6-1 game.
Brassard vaults over Niemi and ends up in the back of the Sharks' net. A little over 3.5 to go in the second period. 6-1, San Jose in front with 6 unanswered goals. And this is Marleau. Biron, a little unsteady as he knocked that down. Then Kennedy flattens Stepan, but the Rangers come ahead. Zuccarello. Pyatt at the net, and Niemi catches the pass.
So on that particular play, Derek Stepan ran into Kennedy and then went down hard. And then Brad Richards took down Logan Couture. Logan went off the ice, and looks like he's all right. But
yeah, it looked like Mark Stahl there.
Was it Mark Stahl? Sorry.
Kind of pushing on Couture there. I thought that could have been a penalty easily against the Rangers.
I'm sorry, it was Mark Stahl, 18, not 19. You're right, Brett.
Desjardins wins the draw over to Justin Braun. Marc-Edouard Vlasic, he has a goal tonight, his first of the year. He has 4 points on the year, Vlasic. Pouliot kept alive by Braun. And Biron will catch that and hold it. Worth noting, Joe Thornton has an assist tonight on that last goal by Hurdle. For Joe Thornton, his 789th career assist, moving into a tie all-time with Hall of Famer Peter Stastny for 32nd all-time. Next on the list, Guy Lafleur, 4 assists away from where Thornton is now. Then Yari Curry, Pierre Turgeon, Mike Modano. Some of the greatest names in the history of this game, and Joe Thornton is taking them down one at a time.
What a play by Vlasic right there.
Desjardins, and Biron makes the save from long range. Shepard for the Sharks. John McCarthy, his pass blocked, and Dominic Moore comes ahead for the Rangers. To the net, Niemi, nice knockdown as Pouliot got his stick on that. Moore tried to center. Asham over for New York. And this will come off the block, back out to center ice. After this, the Rangers head back to Southern California for a date with the Anaheim Ducks before they head to the Midwest to play St. Louis. Niemi, another save as the Rangers are getting some shots to the net here in the second period. Now Pavelski. He'll shoot from long range. Perron knocks it down, covers with 1:57 to go. Log on to CSNCalifornia.com. Click on Sharks In-Game Live. It's presented by Esurance. It gives you a chance to enhance the in-game experience on your computer, smartphone, or tablet when watching a Sharks game. Up to the second box scores. You can join the social buzz with other fans online. Go to CSNCalifornia.com for In-Game Live.
And I urge you to go there. Kevin Kurz had a nice talk with Dominic Moore today, and Dominic talked to him about what he's been through in the last little while, and of course, coming back to San Jose. It's a great read. You want to check it out.
Check that out on CSNCalifornia.com. Of course, Dominic Moore came to the Sharks in a trade at the deadline 2 years ago from Tampa Bay, but then within that first round against St. Louis had to leave the team for a family matter. It turned out his wife was afflicted with a rare liver cancer, and she lost her life to that, causing Dominic to miss an entire season of his career for obviously more important reasons. This is his third go-round with the New York Rangers, who brought him back into the NHL after that long layoff.
It shows you, what kind of person Dom is.
And Perron, a nice save there as Tommy Wingels frustrated that didn't go in for him. The Sharks right now feeling like every time they get in the Rangers zone, they ought to get something out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, a drive to the net. Chip. But I like the way off the puck the Sharks are driving to the net. Very aggressive. Now attacking Martin Perron. And Drew's Clues, I imagine we're going to show Brett one or two guys driving the net.
Well, and what's so remarkable is the Sharks have not been on the power play in this game. Dan Boyle's effort is blocked by Richards. Former teammates in Tampa Bay, where they won a Stanley Cup together under John Tortorella, who was the former Ranger coach, of course, now in Vancouver. So they've got a history going back.
I will say, and I don't even think it's a stretch, Dan Boyle's a better hockey player now than he was when he was with Tampa Bay and won the Stanley Cup. This guy is getting older, yeah, but he's such a gamer and so smart. He's a better hockey player now than he ever has been.
The shot by Boyle, kicked out by Perron.
Oh, Brent Burns is, he's just getting out. I thought maybe the puck hit him.
Richards for the Rangers. Can't get the shot to the net. Callahan fell. Girardi can't get it deep, and it's back out to center.
Thomas Hertl just getting the stick on the puck, getting it past the pitching defense.
A minute to go in the period as Thornton and Burns try and convert to get that puck up to Hertl, but it comes the other way to the Rangers. Off the skate of Callahan. Hertl can't catch this. Del Zotto's back defensively for the Rangers. Mike Del Zotto led the defense for the Rangers last year with 3 goals and 21 points. Cleared away from the front by Vlasic, and then he lets that effort go through his feet.
That's interference.
McDonough on the far side. Del Zotto, and he's wide with the shot, and it rims all the way out, back down into Ranger territory. Under 20 to go here in the second, and what a second period it's been, with San Jose recording 4 of their 6 goals here in period 2. Vlasic turns back, checks the clock as Braun supports, plays it back to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. And they're going to wave the icing off here as this memorable second period comes to an end. Tomas Hertl with 2 goals. Matt Nieto, his first NHL goal. Logan Couture managed to squeeze one in between all those himself as well. After 2, Sharks lead the Rangers 6-1. We'll check in with Dave Feldman on the other side in San Francisco when we come back. And then Drew and Brent Hedican will be back with a special edition of Drew's Clues. And it is just about time for the third period as the Sharks make their way out of the dressing room, back out onto the ice here at SAP Center at San Jose. Tomas Hertl, 2 goals in that second period, his second 2-goal game in his very brief career, as in 3-game career. Down to Brett Hedican with assistant coach Jay Woodcroft.
Hey Jay, you guys are playing some of the fastest hockey I've seen you play in a long time. You guys work on it a lot. What's going on with these guys? Why are they getting it right now this time of year?
Well, I think it's a credit to our back end, Brett. We're moving the puck quickly, letting the puck do the work. There's a lot of talk out here, as I'm sure you can hear. And the big thing for us is we're a fast team. when we decide to shoot the puck and having a shooting mentality. I think we got the puck, or attempted at least 74 shots today. We're a fast team when we're doing that.
Great job, Jake. Keep up the good work. Back up to you guys.
That's interesting. There's something right away. You see how in tune the Sharks coaches are. Brett knows, or Jay knows right away how many shots they've attempted.
Opening week of hockey is presented by Dairy Queen. Randy Hahn, Drew Remenda, Brett Hedican, Brody Brazil in the house as well. Glad you're along here on Comcast Sportsnet California. It's been quite a night. The Sharks with a 3-goal in 83-second outburst in that second period. Part of a 4-goal period. They have scored 6 in a row. The Rangers got the first goal from Brad Richards back at 3:27 of the first period on a 5-on-3. And since then, it has been all San Jose. One shorthanded goal by Marc-Edouard Vlasic to tie the game. And then 5 in a row at even strength. The Sharks have not been on the power play tonight. And we ought to mention that the Rangers are without Rick Nash, who was injured in the first period on what we believe was a hit from Brad Stewart. Henrik Lundqvist left this game when it was 4-1. Martin Biron will finish up this one. And with the kind of road trip that the Rangers have the rest of the way, it doesn't make any sense to tire Lundqvist out now. This one, it's not in the books yet, but it's not looking good. Now we'll see how the Sharks approach this third period. Up by 5. Nieto back for Demers, and his shot deflects off Richards' stick and wide. Wingles, and that'll deflect back to Niemi. Demers, one of the 12 different Shark skaters that had points in this game. He had the second assist on Hertl's first goal. The defense has really been contributing, including the first 2 goals by Vlasic and Boyle. That one's out of play.
You know, go back to what Brett Hedican talked to Jay Woodcroft about. He said, you know, I know you work on this all the time. And the Sharks coaches do. In practice, the pace of their practice is, I would say frantic, because frantic's out of control, but it is fast. It is pushed. You've got to push the pace all the time. It's going to transfer over. And because of the Sharks coaches, the way they work the guys in practice, no wasting time between the drills, no wait to get the drill started. Everything's going go, go, go. That's why they play fast right here.
Del Zotto picks off a neutral zone pass. Back to Niemi. He tries to place it in the right spot for Dan Boyle, who upends Pouliot. Now Owen, he's got pressure. Zuccarello right there. Matt Zuccarello has help from Stepan. Matt Irwin's going to skate. Gives it to Kennedy, the hard wrister, in for Dan Boyle. He chipped it right into the middle of the zone, but the Rangers able to get it. Taylor Pyatt over to John Moore. Moore in for Brian Boyle, the save by Niemi. Burns clears the zone. Thornton trying to settle it. It's his. Skates, he scoops it deep. Hertl sitting on 2 goals down there for the Sharks. Thornton trying to move the pile and the puck. Derek Dorsett out there. He was shaken up earlier in the game as well. John Moore for New York. Weaves his way through the middle. Good hard back check by Thornton. Now a shot. Saved by Niemi as Boyle put it on target. Burns wants Hertl. A little out of his reach, and Girardi steers it aside.
Brett, what goes on with a team who's up 6-1 going into the third period? What do they got to do to close it out?
Well, you think about habits. They've been doing a lot of little things right all game. Don't change those habits now even though you're up 6-1.
Aaron Asham for Dominic Moore. Moore able to emerge with it. McDonough, wrist shot, tip, Niemi save, and the rebound controlled by Desjardins.
Brett, you talked about it. Antti Niemi has got a lot of work, but when he's been tested, he has been very good.
John McCarthy out with Shepard and Desjardins. Andrew Desjardins had a nice setup on Hertl's first goal in that second period. Here he is again on the loose puck. Played across Ryan McDonough for the Rangers. Jason Demers. Nice maneuver around the net. Nieto, he's got a 2-point night, including his first NHL goal against Del Zotto down deep. Wingles gets a step on Callahan to the puck. And out to Del Zotto again for the Rangers, who don't get it out. Wingles back for Pavelski. He's got 3 assists tonight. The big Pavelski around for Tommy Wingles. Backhander off a skate. Pavelski in the crease, and Biron able to clear it out of there.
Back underneath him.
All because of a failure by the Rangers to get it out.
And good work, good support. Those quick little passes and then getting to the net.
Pavelski just got hacked by Stahl right in front of the referee. I don't know what the Rangers are going to have to do to get a penalty. Richards. And that's cleared from the front. John Moore on the far boards. Sharks have gone over the 40-shot mark now. This one glances off the Emmys pad by the Rangers. Zuccarello in front, and a shot by Stralman, and he missed the net. Anton Stralman again. He risked this one. Wanted Zuccarello for the tip. It didn't go. John Moore jumps in. Vlasic with Pavelski. Played out nicely. And Marlowe will backhand it clear. This is going to go icing against San Jose as the whistle blows with 15:13 left in the third.
Well, Patrick Marleau, we talk about habits, Drew, and what do you do in a 6-1 game? You don't do things where you quit, and Patrick Marleau, there's no quitting him right now. Here's a chance of it's kind of a 3-on-2 broken play, but it was Patrick Marleau using his legs to get back to help the defenseman, and those are the things you need to do to show your teammates that you're still in this game at a 6-1.
Kennedy busts over the line and takes a shot that deflects off Girardi and out of play.
You know, what's interesting in watching this game is how Todd McClellan, you mentioned it, Randy, been able to just kind of roll the lines over and over and over, and you're not seeing a drop-off from line to line to line to line, as far as the pace of the game anyway. There's no distinctive slowing of the game because, say, the third or fourth line comes out. And in fact, the speed may pick up.
Let's not forget the Sharks are without the injured Rafi Torres, Martin Havlat, and Adam Burish. And there's been no drop-off. Credit to the youngsters who've come into this lineup and the newcomers. Well, if you're looking for the perfect venue to entertain important clients or host a party, this is the place to do it. A Sharks game. There's several options that will impress, like the penthouse suites or the upscale hospitality spaces like the President's Room. Plus, you'll see a memorable night of hockey, especially if it's anything like tonight. For more, call 408-999-5757 or visit sjsharks.com/groups. Blocked by Brent Burns on the pass intended for McDonough. And he pulled that out and back in again.
The reason he pulls it out is because of Brent Burns and his stick. Talk about details in your game, and I know we're going on about it, but it's fun to watch and it's fun to notice. Brent Burns comes back, takes away the middle of the ice. Now he's going to force up, and he uses his stick just beautifully in that situation to force McDonough just to get past the blue line and force the offside.
Burns wins the face-off that time. Biron steers it up Zuccarello's way, but beyond his reach. And you don't often see icing by the goalie, but you see it there. Martin Biron came into this game at 4-1, now in his 4th year with the New York Rangers, replacing that man between the pipes, Henrik Lundqvist. Biron, a veteran, 36 years old. This is his 16th year in the NHL. I had a chance to chat with him at the morning skate today, and he did not think he was going to play, but as a backup, you never know.
He is one of the few guys to have played for all 3 New York State-based teams.
You are correct, sir, along with Pat LaFontaine, Mike Donnelly, and Jason Daw.
And Taylor Pyatt on his team as well.
The Rangers, the Islanders, and the Devils.
No. Sabres.
Oh, I'm sorry, New York State, the Sabres, you're right. Not New York area.
Some people in New York would be upset when you refer to Jews.
No kidding. Dan Boyle backhands it out beyond center. Girardi to this side for McDonough. 6-1 the Sharks lead. Hurdle with 2. A goal each for Vlasic, Boyle, Nieto, and Couture. Dan Boyle, far side, trying to feed McCarthy. And John McCarthy sends it back for Brad Stewart. Stewart playing in his first game of the season tonight.
It's moved there by Jason Demers. A skating move.
Couture trying to advance it, but the Rangers will clear it out. And Stewart angles back. Well, we looked at this schedule for the Sharks before the season began, and it's set up very nicely for them with the Canucks in, then some rest, then Phoenix, then some rest, then a Ranger team on the second night of back-to-backs. And so far, the Sharks have taken full advantage of, I'm not going to call it a soft schedule, but an advantageous one for sure. And they'll just play one road game before coming back here again on Saturday night against another Eastern Conference team. The puck pinballs around, but Niemi's got it under his glove, and we'll take a break. 13 and change to go here in the third. All Sharks tonight. The ever-growing rivalry with the Vancouver Canucks continues. The Sharks hit the road and head north for their first away game of the season. Sharks pregame live at 6:30 on Thursday, and then all the action at 7. Sharks and Canucks. Vancouver hosting New Jersey tonight up in Canada, and they have just defeated Corey Schneider and the Devils 3-2 in overtime.
Came back. Boy, the Devils have lost 2 leads and lost 2 consecutive games in overtime.
So the Canucks, after a season opening loss here, have turned things around. Should be a good matchup on Thursday night. It's always one of our favorite places to visit. Pouliot stood up at center by Wingles. Now Matt Nieto sends it back into the Ranger zone. And not much clicking for the Rangers for the entire night, except for their 5-on-3 power play where they got their only goal. So, aside from the 3-1 win in LA last night, they lost their opening game of the season 4-1 in Phoenix, and right now it's 6-1 here. Lots of goals against. John McCarthy, and his backhander saved by Biron. Girardi for Zuccarello, and Pouliot comes back. Rangers already this preseason/season have been in Western Canada. They did a team bonding exercise in Banff in the Canadian Rockies. They've played an exhibition game in Las Vegas. Here's a break for Dorsett, and he scores. What a sweet move on the backhand. And Dorsett makes it 6-2.
Very nice move by Derek Dorsett.
And what a chip pass by Boyle right through the middle.
Wasn't it? Another one of those indirect passes, a little chipper. Dorsett comes in behind. Goes to the backhand. That's a sweet move by a guy who's not really known to make those types of plays. Antti Niemi out quite far, being aggressive. And Derek Dorsett gets his first goal of the season after taking a hard hit by James Sheppard. Bounces back with a big goal. 6-2, and the Rangers still have some fight.
So Derek Dorsett, part of the big Marion Gaborik trade last year, ended up appearing in 11 playoff games for the Rangers.
Boyle going after Stewart here.
Now chance here for Hurdle on his backhand. He just lost it. Teeing it up is Demers as Stewart and Boyle continue to at least jaw at one another, and now Boyle gives Stewart a shove. And we're going to get penalty or penalties here. We'll see.
I don't see how Brad Stewart should get a penalty. Brad wasn't doing anything. There's no benefit for Brad Stewart to drop the gloves now. Up 6-2 with 11:18 left. Why, Brett, in my opinion, why would you bother giving the other team a spark?
Well, this line went out and got the goal. Now they felt a little bit like they could make something happen on the hit on Rick Nash. No doubt about it. I'm sure it was talked about in between the second and third, and looked like Dorsett was looking at him too.
2-minute minor on sportsmanlike conduct.
In the Baylor penalty box, Brian Boyle. Sharks get their first power play of the game.
So Brian Boyle, who got the primary assist on Dorsett's goal, A few moments ago, goes to the penalty box here, and the Sharks are on, first time we can say this tonight, a Cache Creek power play. He got 4 minutes, 2 for unsportsmanlike, 2 for roughing. So an extended power play for the first power play opportunity for the Sharks. Jason Demers, his shot just missed wide. Tyler Kennedy. Demers again. Matt Irwin back over to Kennedy up top. Tipped in front. Hertl. He's got it. His first National Hockey League hat trick for 19-year-old Tomas Hertl.
Here they come. Just great puck movement, getting the center of the ice. Fake shots, quick passes, getting through the seam. What quick hands. Brent, real quick hands by Tomas Hertl.
Just going to the hard to battle areas. You know, he took that shot early in the game. Doesn't matter. He's still going back to the front of the net. You like to see that. Goes off his body. It almost looked like there, but just turns, fires it. Perron has no chance in tight like that. 5-hole. Kid gets his hat trick.
First player with 5 goals in his first 3 games in the NHL since 1979.
Kid's got to lighten up though, doesn't he? He's got to have some fun. There's Mom, tears in her eyes. Look at that. That is so great.
Tomas' mother here from the Czech Republic. She's got
so
Patrick
sweet.
Marleau's jersey on because I don't think they have a Hertl jersey in the store yet. My guess is they're going to get one soon.
Oh, that is so great. Isn't that great? As parents, we can all understand that pride. Without a doubt, that is just super. Oh, that's so nice.
I love that she's got a Patrick Marleau jersey on as well. Isn't that great to see? But Hertl just, right now, it's just fun to watch this young kid. He's got a smile on his face coming down to the rink, on the ice playing with 2 wonderful players, obviously of Brent Burns and Joe Thornton, but just great to see this kid get off to the start that he has.
Well, 4 times 12 is 48. He gets one more. Look out.
Listen to this crowd and look at the ovation for 19-year-old Tomas Hertl. This crowd is on its feet en masse, celebrating this remarkable young man and what he just did here.
There's his girlfriend who he saluted when he got his second goal in the NHL.
And they'll forever be part of it. Jason Demers and Tyler Kennedy, the assists at 9:02 on the first NHL hat trick for Tomas Hertl. And it's 7-1, 7-2 Sharks, and they're still on the power play for another 2 minutes.
That was one of those rare moments that pretty much you can only get in sports.
So after the Ranger goal, the Sharks punish New York on their first power play opportunity of this game, coming here halfway through the 3rd period. What a night at SAP Center. And what a homestand.
You know what? It would take somebody who knows a little something about the New York Rangers and hockey, Mary Makarov, to text me and say that 12 is probably his draft jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Tomas Hertl
why
drafted
he's
17th overall in 2012 in the first round by the Sharks.
Mary Makarov. Of course, the Makarov name, well known around here.
Now Dorsett trying to get it away from John McCarthy. Check that. That's Nieto out there, number 83. McDonough for the Rangers. Dorsett shoots. It's blocked. Girardi follows up. That's wide. And the Sharks outnumbered on this side. Outnumbering the puck. Pavelski will skate it ahead. Nieto on the wing. Back to Pavelski. Now to Wingels. Dan Boyle. Brad Stewart. 20 to go on the power play. Stewart takes it in. Perron saved it. Great chance for Wingels, but he just couldn't get the return shot away because Perron was out of position. Callahan shorthanded for Pyatt, and that didn't click.
Another one from the great Tom Holy. Just said the same thing. It's his draft jersey.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, gang.
That's it for the Shark power play. They're 1 for 2 with the man advantage. But power plays were not what was needed for the Sharks to dominate this game. 5 of their 7 goals came at even strength. And that was an area of focus in training camp. Improve even strength play. And well, we're only 3 games into an 82-game year. But the Sharks are scoring a lot of goals 5-on-5. In by Marleau. It takes a wonky bounce. But Braun was right on it. He had a stick right there. That didn't fool him. I think every goalie in the NHL after what happened to Jonathan Quick last night is going to really be paying a little extra attention. Tough thing for Quick last night. Here's Hurdle again. Oh! Does it! He scores again! And what a goal! Wow!
Are you kidding me? I didn't want to see anything because I wanted to let that speak for itself.
19 years of age. That's confidence.
That's a high level of skill. I'm speechless, Brett. Speechless.
I got to smile. He's made me smile over here. I'm just loving that. Look at the parents, his girlfriend.
His 4th goal. He has 6 goals in the Sharks' first 8.5 periods.
Wow. 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 The speed, the skill, the confidence.
Desjardins. And Strawman with it again for the Rangers. 4th goal of the game for Tomas Hertl. And his 6th of the season to make it 8-2 on the 45th shot on goal of this game by the San Jose Sharks. And we have never seen anything like this that I can recall at SAP Center. Demers, his 3rd assist of the game. And Antti Niemi got an assist as well on the 8th Sharks goal at 12:05.
We have seen some amazing performances by some amazing guys. Uh-oh, look out.
Back come the Sharks again, and the shot behind the net.
And some rookie performances like Jeff Friesen, his rookie year. Patrick Marleau.
Slap shot by Richards, and it screams high over the net.
But I can't think that Tomas Hertl has been topped by anybody in their first few games in the NHL.
He's tied the franchise record for goals in a game held by Owen Nolan.
Well, we talked about Tomas Hertl at the beginning of the program. He and Patrick Marleau. And this has been an amazing night.
Could he score 5?
Well, sure he can. 6 minutes left. Look the way he's playing.
Owen Nolan had 4 in December of '95 at Anaheim. Tomas Hertl has 4 here tonight against the New York Rangers with 6 minutes left to go in the 3rd. Pouliot, and that's saved by Niemi.
I just, wow, that goal is still, Brett, just still ringing.
It was. I mean, just for him to think about that way before he got in towards Byron.
Oh, yeah.
And to pull that off and just with Everett up top shelf even. What a goal.
And you can hear the chant.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Hertl.
That didn't take long, less than a week. The Rangers just trying to prevent any more damage to their collective team confidence here. They've been lit up pretty good. 8 goals here with 5 and change left to go. Tomas Hertl with a 4-goal game. We'll be back.
Right-handed Mannequin Jay Woodcroft told you the team plays well when it makes good passes out of the zone. Talk to me about this pass.
Well, Jason Demers is having a strong game tonight. This is just a good heads up. Gets his feet moving out of the zone, gets his head up. There's he finds Tomas Hertl going wide. He's got some speed going, beats him wide, and then he just does the rest with his skill and just a beautiful inside underneath his legs up top.
5 minutes left. And the only mystery left in this game is whether or not Hertl's got one more in him for the all-time franchise record by any player, let alone a rookie.
Brett, that's a good pickup because that pass is great by Jason Demers.
Demers with 3 assists. Pavelski with 3 assists. Even Antti Niemi has an assist. It's that kind of night.
The penalty coming up here on a slash.
Let's see a few more of these from the Rangers. It's a frustrating night for any team. Slash coming up and the Sharks get back on the power play. Aaron Ashton getting 2. Aaron in the Bay Alarm penalty box. Aaron from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. It's 5 minutes now. He's only 3 minutes shy of 1,000 in his NHL career.
Gets the deuce for the Slash at 15:22. And the Sharks on their 3rd power play of this game. They have the 1 power play goal. That was Hertl's 3rd. Nieto went up top, knocked down by Biron. Wingels, Vlasic to Justin Braun. And that's blocked by Dan Girardi. But he gives it right back to Wingel. Up top for Vlasic. Tommy Wingels. Braun scores! There's number 9.
Justin Braun activates from the weak side. Brett, really well done right there. Good read by Justin Braun.
Good read, doesn't get too far down, just nice smooth skating down from the backside like you said, and just another great pass. Lands on his stick right there, and Braun just can't do much about it. But didn't expect it to go all the way across there, and Justin Braun with a nice 2nd goal of the season.
Puck movement there, again, getting the middle of the ice. Henrik Lundqvist is going, you gotta be kidding me. How much more is this going to happen?
In all honesty, it hasn't been a game about bad Ranger goaltending.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Justin Braun, who scored the game winner on opening night, gets his 2nd of the season. It's a power play goal, and there's 4 minutes to go here at SAP Center. 9-2, Sharks in front.
It's icing.
No, it's an icing call. We'll stay right here. On the draw, the slap shot from the point by Delzano block. Takes it to the net again, and Niemi seals it off with the pad. Now the Rangers chasing to keep it in, but can't.
Fans are chanting.
We want 10. Derek Brassard, and that one high and over the net. Back into the neutral zone. Braun's goal is 2nd. Nieto, his 2nd assist of the game and 3rd point. Wingels also picked up a helper on that power play goal by Justin Braun. Stralman couldn't get the shot away as Couture checked him. Braun angles across, picked up by Couture. Bouncing wide of the Ranger net, Biron will sweep it over for John Moore. Moore through center, gave it right back to Jason Demers. And that's on the San Jose bench with 2:47 to go here in the 3rd period. Now we'll step aside and come right back to SAP Center. You better believe it, Ahmed. Time for our Toyota game summary. All Hertl, all the time. We'll show you all 4 of his goals. His first one made it 4-1. His second one, 6-1. His third one, 7-2 for his hat trick, and then number 4, a thing of filth. That was filthy. Filthy good. His 4th of the game, 6th of the year. 9 goals tonight. Sharks are within a goal of their franchise record in a game of 10.
The crowd's been chanting. The crowd wants 10. 2:47 left. And it's been an impressive San Jose Shark team tonight.
Zuccarello, Shepard, Stewart, and back to John McCarthy. Sharks will leave tomorrow afternoon for British Columbia and take on the Vancouver Canucks Thursday night. You won't want to miss that. 7 o'clock Pacific. We're on Comcast Sportsnet California. Pregame live at 6:30. Shepard tries from just beyond center. Desjardins looking for McCarthy. Stallman had the read. Justin Braun on it first. And gives it back for Zuccarello. Zuccarello took a hack at him there. Wingles. And Braun will set that up for Girardi as we're under 2 minutes to go. Sharks with 47 shots on goal in this game. And 9 have gone in. Braun scored the last one. Vlasic scored the first one. Bookended by the defenseman.
92 shots in the last 2 games, boys, as well. Just a shooting gallery for these guys.
Play fast, then they shoot more. They're all over the puck. These first 3 games have been very, very impressive.
Stay tuned. Esher and Sharks post-game live coming up next. As Brody Brazil, Brett Hedigan, and Jamie Baker will break it all down here, and we'll no doubt hear from Tomas Hertl, among many in the Sharks dressing room. That's coming up right after the 3 stars. Boy, it's going to be tough to pick the first star tonight, Drew.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great performances, Randy.
Gee, I don't know who's going to get it.
Well, Wes, you know, stay tuned here.
You're about to find out.
The first, second, and third.
Here's a little hint. The first star Saturday night was Tomas Hertl. A night we will not soon forget. If we thought Saturday night was Tomas Hertl's coming out party with 2 goals, he had something much greater in mind here this evening.
Yeah, he was just knocking on the door Saturday night. Tonight he kicked it wide open.
Last shift of the hockey game. This crowd on its feet, and they have witnessed something very special here at SAP Center at San Jose. It's over. And the Sharks defeat the New York Rangers 9-2 to go 3-0 to start the season and sweep their homestand.
A lot of great things we saw tonight. Tomas Hertl, as you said, Randy, is coming out party, but that to me was the moment that I'll always remember. Mrs. Hertl with tears in her eyes, the pride in her son, having his biggest night in his very, very young NHL career.
For the record, Hertl did set a Sharks franchise record tonight. The fastest 4 goals by an individual. He scored 4 in 22 minutes and 46 seconds. And that erases the record previously held for a long time by Owen Nolan of 32-35. He did that back in 1995 in that game at Anaheim. But Tomas Hertl gets himself a line in the San Jose Sharks all-time record book in only his 3rd National Hockey League game.
Brett, that's an unbelievable performance by a young man.
Amazing performance, and you're seeing him score goals lots of different ways. Breakaways, obviously, battling in front of the net, deflections. You're just seeing all these tools that this kid has in just this short amount of season right now that we're looking at. A short sample.
Here's the 3 stars.